Hello, everyone. We are here for the Halloween edition of Everything Under the Sun. It looks like it's the Easter edition because Laurel and I are rabbits, but I also have skull earrings, so I'm obviously a Halloween rabbit. And Laurel, how do we know that you're not the Easter bunny?
Well, I'm dressing up like Anya from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who's a vengeance demon and is terrified of rabbits. So she wore the scariest costume she could think of, and you just have to kind of feel that vibe.
Whoa, you are pretty scary right now. Jenna, what are you?
My son made this. Can you hear me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's very hot, but he made it for Halloween. I don't know who it is. Its name is Sans. It's from a show.
Wow. How do you make it? What is that out of?
He 3D printed it and then like glued it together. You can kind of see it.
Oh,
And then he had to
wow.
sand it and paint it. It's been his homeschool project all week. So
Oh, interesting. How old is he?
12.
12. Okay, interesting. How many kids do you have?
2.
Two. And how old's the other one?
14. She's going to be a cowboy or cowgirl.
Okay, interesting. Debbie, and what are you?
Woo!
Pumpkin.
The pumpkin.
Wow.
Like,
Nice. What was the mask you were wearing, though?
that's from if you ever saw what is that? Squid Game.
Oh,
Oh, interesting. That's
you're like in charge.
Yes.
That one is actually terrifying.
It is. He likes this kind of thing. He
Yeah.
scares me wearing this.
Kim. What's your mask? What is that?
Isn't it scary?
That's terrifying. I'm gonna have nightmares later. Just kidding. Jay-Z, what are you?
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just a generic pumpkin.
Oh.
I'm a
You
generic
got
pumpkin.
my head. And I got you got
Oh my god. I'm scaring Laurel because
Yeah, I
I'm the
do.
scariest thing ever. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Daisy's a pumpkin. We got 2 pumpkins, we got 2 rabbits, we got 2 Kims. No, I'm just kidding. We only got 1 Kim. We got Jenna, who is somebody we don't know. All right, well, welcome to the Halloween edition. I made the room available for 10 people at a time now, just so you know, so we can have up to 10 people. It seems like we got 4 co-hosts on this. We got me, Debbie, Jay-Z, and Jenna are like the 4 hosts. And then Laurel, if you want to be a regular, Kim, if you want to be a regular, that's great. But then we have 4 other spots for people to come in and out. So invite your friends. Okay, so today we have 3 topics. We have Hobby Heartbreak, brought to us by Jenna Marie. We have bonding in general, and we have music and astrology as per Debbie D. So I guess okay, Laurel.
Kimber is stuck backstage.
Oh, interesting. Oh, thank you. I see Kimber. I think I can let her on now.
Yes!
We did it! Kimber. Wait, how did you know that Kimber was stuck backstage?
The chat.
I can't see the chat.
Yeah.
Why can't I see the chat?
It doesn't have pictures, it just tells you how many people are in the studio.
Oh, maybe I have to have people. Interesting. Okay. Kimber, hello, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Where are you coming to us from?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Okay, interesting. And you came in through Jenna?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your Halloween costume?
I don't have one.
Okay. So you always look like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless I wash my hair, but this is what I look like.
You know, when you meet somebody and they like have a wig on or something, you think they always look like that, and then you see them later, you're like, what? Okay. Well, Kimber, it's nice to have you in here. No, sorry about last time, but I see that I've fixed the problem. We know we can legit have 7 in here, so
Yeah, I'm excited.
okay. Wait, were you at the Tuesday group this week?
I was, and I loved it.
Oh my God, sorry I missed it, but I'm so glad. Yeah, Debbie must have done a good job.
She did.
Good fun.
All right, cool. All right, so let's start with Hobby Heartbreak. Jenna, do you want to tell us all about Hobby Heartbreak? What is it? What do you want to talk about?
Sure. It's something that's been coming up in a lot of my different social circles. And I just learned about it, but basically it's when you have something that brings you joy that's like a hobby for a long time, and then for whatever reason it stops bringing you joy, and it can feel like a breakup or like a friend leaving or like some level of loss with grief associated with it. So I thought maybe there was some astrology going on around why this keeps happening to friends that seemingly aren't really related, like different social circles. So
Okay, so it's when you have a hobby and then all of a sudden it's not interesting to you anymore.
yeah, and you try to engage with it and you're not getting the same level of satisfaction.
Interesting. It's funny because I'm just cleaning out my craft cabinet right now, and there's a bunch of like dead hobbies in there, just like relics of something I once was doing, and it's just like, obviously this is the transits for you. It's like when you're on a transit, you're like, ooh, diamond painting, and then after your transit over, you're like, get this diamond painting away from me. I don't even want to diamond paint for the rest of my life. But it's just, do you guys think that that's transits for you, or what makes that happen?
You know what? I had I did theater for like 10 years, and then I got bored with it. And I really wanted to do astrology, and I think a lot of it had to do with my nodes because they're mutable. I have my my north node is in Gemini. It's like, okay, it's so repetitive. It's like I don't want to, I want something fresh and new. I just didn't want to do theater anymore, and I didn't want to memorize all the lines anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, was there a certain transit going on that made you into theater, do you think?
I'd have to look at that. The theater. I have to look that up. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I will look that into that. Let me see. I'm gonna look at.
Well, Jenna, we look a lot at this in Mega Manifestation, which is why to do astrology in the first place, at least from the ancient books I've read, is that you're supposed to basically hyper manifest everything in your chart. So like if a mania comes in and you like feel like crocheting, you were supposed to crochet your heart out until the mania goes away, and then you just let it go. Like you don't stay attached, like you don't crochet when the transit to your Mars in Cancer is over. You stop crocheting and move on to the photography or whatever the other part of your chart wants to do. And that's how Mega Manifestation is said to work.
I like that because I used to have a lot of guilt around not keeping up with my hobbies. So, and especially my mom is really into having the same hobbies forever. And she'd be like, but you always loved this. So then I'd be like, I have to guiltily do my hobby now.
Well, and you're mutable. You have a mutable Grand Cross, and mutable people switch and change. Like if they are bored, they change it up, or like read a little bit of this book, read a little bit of this book. What about when you're reading a book and you get sick of that book? Do you keep reading the whole book, or do you jump around to another book?
I don't think I finished a book cover to cover in a long time. I have to jump around. Even when I read a full book, I read it in different areas and then I go back and fill it in.
Oh my God, I do the same thing. Bookmarks. I have a pile of bookmarks. That's what the bookmarks are for. So that if you decide to go back, you have to go back to the beginning anyway, because you're like, oh, I forgot what this is all about.
Do you write in your books too?
Some of them, I was taught to do that. With the Virgo rising, it's like that was taboo in the beginning. But my one teacher goes, write in it, write in the books. You must write in the books. And now I highlight things, and
Yes.
yeah.
Too.
Yep.
Laurel, you're a Taurus moon, Taurus rising. So do you have the same hobbies on and on and on, or how does that work?
No, I mean, my chart is a mutable signature, and so in some ways, yes. But I was thinking about how, as a kid and into like my early teens, I was a drawer, like so much so that like I would like itch for the pencil in my hand, and like it felt almost like an addiction. but then at some point that just stopped. And even today, while I'm like an artist and a creative person, like I wish that that were still the case, but it's just not. I just don't have that same feeling toward it. And then there are other examples of that that have come to mind, but I was kind of like trying to figure out what the major transits are in your life, like through those stages. And I just pulled up Astro Gold and kind of going back to check because I mean, off the top of my head, I have no idea. But yeah.
Kim, how do you feel about hobbies? Do you let them come and go, or what do you do?
I used to have a metal shop, and I used to make sculptings, and I also made other things. But I love to weld and things like that. But after a while, I just um, lost interest in it, and we're planning on moving and selling the house, and so I just sold all my stuff. But I,
Did you have
I'd do it again, but boy, I can't believe how much money I spent. That's a lot.
Did you have heartbreak when you stopped welding?
I don't know if it's heartbreak, but I really enjoy it. I love to watch other people weld. So
I thought
I
you're not
used,
supposed to watch that.
well, I have a helmet on. Yeah.
Amber, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies are writing, writing poetry and writing short stories. And then I've definitely lost some hobbies. I used to do rollerblading and rock climbing, and I just got back into yoga.
Interesting. Wow, it doesn't really sound like people are supposed to have like a longevitous one hobby situation. It's like we're all cyclical here. Jay-Z, do you want to talk about your hobby, your relationship with hobbies?
Oh yeah, sure. Definitely very cyclical. And I think of hobbies as something that's our creative expression, right?
Right.
And it's the way like we feel we're trying to communicate with other humans, and we're trying to make things that we think are beautiful, and
Yeah.
like that's our creative expression. And I agree with you, Andy. It follows, as an astrologer would say, yeah, it follows the transits. It's definitely something I say that you shouldn't feel bad about giving up if that just isn't flowing for
Yeah.
you. Then I know, and easier said than done. And I definitely have in my life also, had times when I've like wanted to play a lot of music, and then been in bands, and then there are other times where I just really don't feel like doing that, but
Yeah.
I really want to like read books and take notes and make paintings about the things that I've learned. And yeah, I guess as I've gotten older, I've learned to just flow with it.
Yeah. Having a part of fortune in the fifth house. One of the things that you could do is be an entertainer, and I look at it being an entertainer almost like a hobby, because basically you're honing your skills and things like that. But I don't meet strangers.
Okay, do you guys
I could be an entertainer, but
you're entertaining us right now, Laurel.
One thing that is speaking to what you said about the fifth house. Currently, I'm in a fifth house perfection year, like the Time Lord technique, and it is ruled by Virgo, and I have really no planets there unless you're looking at Periphery, or I'm probably mispronouncing that, or there's one other, but and their Pluto would be there. But that said, 12 years ago, I was in, or the last time that it was there, I was in art school, and it was like a highly productive, creative time. But it was also like the one time in my life that I was in the INFPJ. Otherwise, I'm the feeling one. But now, so I was kind of looking forward to that being the case and thinking that I would suddenly be creative if I were to compare it to that, though wondering about that Virgo thing to begin with. And it's kind of come out totally differently as more of like being of service to people and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting, like how it would be kind of hard for me to like follow with some kind of exactitude
Right.
or like predict that it's going to be like this or that. But yeah.
See, is Sesquiquadrate, is that not a negative aspect,
It's
or
a hard aspect. It's a hard aspect.
it's
Yes.
a hard aspect?
And
And
it brings
that's,
frustration.
yeah, see, I have a hard aspect from my part of fortune to my midheaven. So
Well, you know
most
what?
people don't do it, but
You know, at the Moira Press, we actually time all entertainment to the transits because the zeitgeist changes, you know, for the
right,
crowd too. Like, for example, when Jupiter went into Gemini, that's when we started doing talk shows. And because we were like, everyone, the throat chakras of mankind are going to be spinning and they're going to want to hear and be talking. And so we started
right,
doing YouTube talk shows. And then when Jupiter went into Cancer, I was like, oh, these talk shows aren't hitting anymore. Like, it's too much talking for people. So we cut down on talk shows and started doing more face jamming, which is Jupiter and Cancer is like more emotional kind of thing,
yeah,
and pictorial. And so, but now Uranus has gone into Gemini, so there's more talking energy. And now we're doing this kind of like talk show live stream thing, which is more like
right,
Uranus and Gemini. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. And like, but one of the things about astrology is it's always, the clock's always ticking forward. It doesn't tick backwards. You can be like, you remember that time when we used to ice skate at the mall every day? And you can look back and lament on the times in the past, or you can move forward with the zeitgeist and say, we're always living in the moment of now and what it wants. You know,
right,
we'll never want the same thing.
right.
Yeah, I've been to theaters where, you know, I sit in there and the smell of it, just everything there surrounding, I'm like, oh, I really miss this. But then I think about, no, I wouldn't want to go back and have to memorize the lines. And, you know, like, it's just too much. It's too much, you know? And it's like, yeah, I'm done with it.
I tried a new hobby on Tuesday, and it gave me a lot of anxiety because I hate being messy, but, well, sort of. I hate having paint all over me. But I painted this beautiful canvas.
Whoa.
I just ran the transits, and the sun was on my Pluto, so that's kind of exciting. I was trying to listen to Alan Clay's talk on the trans-Neptunian planets and channel that, but I didn't.
It looks kind of Scorpio. It's kind of Scorpio colors, and you know.
Oh, good. It was supposed to be based on Ixion, and I think Ixion has something to do with Pluto, supposedly. Yay!
Cool.
You know who needs to have a heartbreak or a hobby heartbreak? Smokers. Because like I've been obsessed. I'm like, every smoker is a beater, actually. Because like I'm watching all these bead ladies at the Portland Bead Society, and they just bead and bead and bead. They're like pretty much smoking, but then they make all this cool stuff. And I'm like, these smokers are like beading, but they don't make anything, and they just smell and are sick. Like it's. So we need to heartbreak hobby the smokers and get them over to beading or something.
Or give them all salt pipes, because I'm convinced it's like a breath work thing too.
Yeah.
Restricted breathing. And then they can put essential oils in the salt pipe and get the flavor. Yeah.
Whoa, what's a salt
They
pipe?
could like multitask and just smoke and bead at the same time.
It's like this thing that has like salt, obviously, in it, and you hit it like you're smoking it, but it's supposed to be good. The salt is good for like clearing congestion out of your lungs, but the restricted breathing of it, I think, hits the same mental, like, ooh, yeah.
But you don't light it on fire. You just breathe through the salt, and it restricts the air coming in, and then it makes it salty into your lungs.
Yeah, and it can
and
loosen
you can
up
put essential oils on the salt and then draw them through.
Yeah,
Oh, that's insane.
that's amazing.
Can I just put like salt in an old packet in an old pipe or something? Or
I think
you're
so.
supposed
Why
to
not?
marketing wise get a new pipe for this?
Yeah, probably. Or I can send you a link to a legitimate salt pipe. You can
Oh my
treat it
God,
like
that's
it's a balm.
hilarious.
It can be really ceremonial.
Wow. All
But
right
how
then.
can we cut down on hobby heartbreak and have like cyclical hobby, come and going? Do we want to cut down on the heartbreak or do we want Kimber?
Can't heartbreak be a good thing? I feel too. Like, just, I feel, I said I used to be a rollerblader and all these things, and I shared those hobbies with like an ex, and then it felt like they were kind of taking my hobbies from me. And I tried to, like, post divorce, I was like, I'm gonna take my hobbies back, but they didn't feel like they were mine anymore, and it felt like I was trying so hard to make, and I was like, that's just not what I want to do anymore. And I think when I just kind of release, like, it's not like these were taken from me, but now, like what Jay-Z was saying about the creative expression of like, well, like, what do I love now, or what makes me happy now? Neptune was also on my Venus the last like year or so. So I think like getting that, like just being in this patient time of figuring out what brings me joy was nice. And now there's like new hobbies, or I finally let myself go into yoga and not comparing myself to how I practice yoga in the past. It's like kind of releasing those past selves. And it's like, yes, I mourn that. And now I'm excited to see like, what do I like to do now?
Oh, I like the what you're saying, Kimber, about heartbreak. I heard this thing about like, that was trying to reframe heartbreak into something good. And it's like, well, when your heart breaks, it cracks open and like is like, you let down all of like the walls and it's like it's cracking open like a beautiful thing that's
Yeah.
blossoming and blooming, right?
Yeah.
So something new can grow. Like, yeah, I mean, I think one of the things astrologers can do for people is give them permission to let go of old things and allow new things to come in. I think sometimes there's this whole idea like, if I don't do my diamond painting anymore, what am I going to do? And like, we can reassure people that something will fill in. It's all chi coming in. Chi comes in your eyes, it goes down your spine. What am I going to do with my chi? It's called threading the needle spiritually. It's
Yeah.
like, what am I going to do to thread the needle?
Because like maybe the heartbreak's like it's like a sign that this isn't for you anymore, or it could be a break, it could be permanent, but it's like the universe is trying to tell you it's okay to let this go for a while.
Yeah, I also think like the longer you kind of do a hobby, there is an evolution. And that could just be like skill, like getting better at whatever the thing is, or even like the conceptual component around that thing, and that evolution could like just evolve into like nothing, or like a long percolating period that could span years, and then maybe that thing will come back, but it will be totally different, and there's like no rules around it. There's no, like, I wouldn't say there's like any definitive end, and if there is, that's okay, but yeah.
Well, I think maybe sometimes it's hard to let go too, because it depends. Like, if we started to self identify with, I am a person that does that thing. Like, I am a person that does yoga every day. I am a person that rollerblades, and then it's like we have this crisis of identity if we're like, wow, but I actually don't feel like rollerblading every day. And then that, I think, Andy, is when the thing comes in and like, if I don't do that every day, if I don't do yoga every day, am I going to become unhealthy? Am I going to become not a yogi? Am I going to become, and I'm using this example too, Kimber, because I was doing yoga every single day for years and years. And then recently, actually, when we started doing manifestation and I switched to writing in my journal every day before, as soon as I woke up, I like didn't have the same space and time to be doing yoga in the morning because I instead was manifesting things in my journal. And a friend of mine the other day, a yogi friend, was like, "Don't you miss it?" And I'm like, not really.
I like what Laurel's saying is that we evolve, and so what you were learning from yoga, you've already learned in some way, or like it's like the repetitive nature would, in some ways, kill us. I think as we're moving forwards, as souls.
I think that's what it is about moving forward. So if you've already moved forward, you don't want to go back, even though it's like, oh, I remember how lovely that cake tasted, or, it's like a memory that was so great, but that doesn't mean that you want to do it again,
Well, this is probably a good segue into talking about bonding, because I think we bond to things we're doing. So let's talk about bonding in general. How do people bond? Do you bond to your hobbies? How do you bond to people? I don't know, wherever we want to take it with the concept of bonding.
Yeah. If I had the money, we're having the big, gigantic Renaissance Festival down here. But I love the Elizabethan age. And anyway, if I was hooked up with some organization that it was their hobby, the Elizabethan age, I would enjoy Renaissance Festival lots more. But it costs money.
So how do you guys bond?
I because I have a lot of air in my chart, like I have every air sign in my chart, relationship is really important to me, but I also have a Scorpio 7th house with no planets in it, and my Pisces Mars is in my 11th house. So bonding is something that I seek, but I also often don't feel like I am able to bond with other people. Like I'm kind of somehow like an odd person but like the relationships where I do bond, they're so important to me, and like they last a lifetime, or when I do bond with somebody, it's strong. And so there can be like a heartbreak to that in my day-to-day, just feeling sort of kind of like invisible or left out of what appears to be bonding among others. But I don't know, it's really important to me. And I am glad that there is that depth to the folks that I do connect with. But
that's what astrology does for me. I get to meet all these nice people, and so I bond because of our we like the same thing. And we're all curious on how to do it better. So astrology to me is like a hobby.
Yeah, it's just shared interest, and also astrology helps you bond with people because you're like getting into their chart. So it's like a very depth hobby, and it's a bonding hobby, Okay, Debbie, how do you bond? You're an Aquarius moon, so.
This is going to sound weird, but it's like kind of intuitive, and I for my whole life I've just been kind of, the path takes me into wherever. I've done lots of different things, but astrology came to me first of all. I mean, it was something that I really wanted to do, but I didn't know that it was that important. So I was at a psychic, and I was very interested in my relationships at that point. She goes, forget that. She goes, you're going to be teaching astrology. This was back in 1990 something.
Really?
And I thought, that's crazy. And then I was doing theater, and I was getting bored with it. And the director said, so what are you going to do next? You're going to New York? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to New York. I don't feel like that. And that's that thing we were talking about before, about you have to take it to the next level. Otherwise, it was so unappealing to me to go to New York and do, those kind of, what do they call them? You just go in, you're doing auditions with 500 people there. I'm just not doing that.
Right.
So I said, I'm really interested in astrology. He said, you should talk to my wife. She's a member of the Astrological Society in Princeton. So that's how I got that.
Yeah.
It was in 2017, and that was an interesting year, because that was when there was that solar eclipse. I don't know if you remember it. It was the day after my birthday. And so there was a lot going on with that. But with that came, Rob Hand was doing I had to take a break from everything. There was just so much going on. And he said, it was about calling, what your calling is. And he said to me, he was looking at my chart. He goes, well, you really could do a number of things. I said, yeah, I've done a number of things, but I want to know what my calling is. He goes, well, what do you want to be? And I said, I'm an astrologer. Did I say that? And that's what happened. And I started taking it seriously, and everything fell into place where so that's, astrology to me feels different than any other hobby I've done because I take it seriously. I had a cookie business. I almost died. I was making 600 dozen cookies a week. I couldn't do that shit anymore. Sorry. And so, I'm beading. I love doing that. In fact, I still like to do it when I have time. But, I've really kind of made my commitment to astrology. And that this is the thing that I love doing. My relationships is funny. Can I just bring up what you and Ricky were talking about?
Sure.
Because it was wild. He actually mentioned my husband's moon and my moon. And his is in Gemini and mine is in Aquarius. And he goes, what do you do with that? How do you connect on a romantic level? But this is the interesting part. First of all, our moons are trining each other. And that was the thing that drew us in. We talked about everything. We loved talking. It was our connection. And it didn't make a difference. We just chatted all the time, every day. So that was the draw to get us to be romantic. I know that sounds weird, but we love just talking. Now, my moon is in Aquarius, but his is in Gemini. Now, my Venus is in Cancer, which is my moon sign. And my husband is Sun, Mercury, ascendant in Cancer. And that Venus does connect with it's all connected. We are so synastry connected, it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And he has Mercury and his moon, mutual reception. And we just flow that way. We've had arguments. It doesn't make a difference. It's like we are soulmates. We're soulmates, and it's because of the way that everything is. And when he said that about, what do they do? And about cuddling, I said, yep. And he said about holding hands, yep. Talking to each other, yep. I checked it all off.
Yeah, Ricky was making the point that if you're an air sign moon, you can't cuddle until you've had the right conversation.
Yeah, I think that was it. So, it took us a moment, but you know what? Just a moment. I mean, we knew we were right for each other, and that was the thing. Nice. But we have,
So the air moon bonds with talking. Jenna, how do you bond? What's your moon?
My moon's in Gemini, and my husband's is in Libra. So I loved that, Debbie. My moon is conjunct Chiron, and it opposes Uranus. So I tend to trauma bond. No. I tend to bond with people about really dark stuff or like trauma or just weird things. It doesn't always have to be so heavy, but it often is. So
interesting. Yep. Kimber, how do you bond with people? What's your moon sign?
I'm a Taurus moon and I'm an Aquarius sun. So it's really interesting because I think I like to. Some people think we're bonding. I'm a Libra rising, so I'm very airy. But my real bonding is I need to build a couch rot with you. Like we can just not talk.
What?
Couch rot, like just just be a bum with you. And there's very few people where I can just put something on TV. We don't have to talk, and you can just be around me without me needing to like talk. Like we just get each other. And just like, we just each have our own blanket and it's just cozy. But there's very few people I would like let in. I'm an 8th house Taurus moon too. But and my fiance is an 8th house Virgo moon. But I have a lot of Virgo moons, and it's funny because sometimes they just want to do a lot or they move more. And I'm like, just sit with me, please. Like, let's relax. That makes me feel safe.
Nice. JZ.
Oh yeah, well I'm a Cancer moon, and And the way that I bond is definitely project based. Like my love language is like time spent doing things together. And yeah, like making things, creating things. I love fixing things up and making my house more and more beautiful or better or cleared or something. My home environment's real important to me. And but yeah, but like I think Andy, you and I are such great friends because we are constantly doing projects together.
Yeah, totally. Well, and my moon's in Pisces in the 10th house, so I bond with people that I work with. Honestly, it's moon in the 10th. It's like you're emotionally attached to your career. It's like, I mean, no offense, but it is also making art with like Laurel. Like we are bonded through a few videos and also a few art projects. And I don't know if you feel that bonds you to me, but I definitely feel bonded to you through the videos we've made, and
Yeah.
the mail we've traded and the art we've traded and all the Facebooking we've done. And but yeah, and like Jay-Z, we've definitely bonded through projects. But yeah, like I always say, I have crushes on projects, not people. Because people come and go, but projects, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about bonding and then unbonding? This is kind of like the hobby heartbreak. Like, when do we need to unbond from a person?
I notice it for myself when I see people repeating certain patterns and kind of like spiraling in a way that is moving away from how I'm moving, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't mean that we have to like always be growing together, but if I see that you're kind of like stuck in this space, or if I'm stuck in a space and they're not, like the mirroring of what we're each supposed to, quote unquote, do becomes too intense. And it's almost like, oh, whatever gifts that this relationship gave me, now it's too much. I'm forcing it now.
I think that in my case, it's it's extremely difficult for me to end relationships when they have come to an end or when they should come to an end. So I'm waiting for good advice from you all, but yeah.
Never. I will never end my relationship with you. Okay. Well, anyone else on how you know you need to unbond from somebody?
I feel sick. I literally will I'll have a bodily reaction, which has gotten easier to trust as I've gotten older, but I've actually had like different medical issues that then went away when I've like stopped being around that person.
Wow.
Makes me think of the term bondage as opposed to bonding, like when you have become in bondage to somebody.
That's when I divorced my first husband too. It took a long time for me to get the guts to say it because I don't like to unbond either. You know, I don't like burning bridges. You know, we'll leave the bridge there. Let's just see if it maybe just disintegrates by itself. I don't like to break bridges, but I couldn't be with this man anymore. And he went to touch my arm, and I pulled back, and I'm like, I can't be with you anymore. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So,
yeah.
I mean, if it gets to that point, then it's like it's done. Mm-hmm. I just ran out of there without even having a plan, which was kind of stupid. But you know what? That it takes a lot for me to say bye-bye. It takes a lot for me. I try to keep my relationships up,
Right.
as long as I can.
Right.
Until they get tired of me, whatever.
I have Gemini in the 7th house. And so I, with a moon in Libra, and I'm not afraid just to ask the partner or whatever, where are you going? What are you doing? I'm not getting on you or anything. It's just that where are we headed? And I have no fear of asking that question, because if I know their intent, then if it's good, then I'm all right, And I guess it's I look forward to open relationships. And
So could we open up to something that's kind of like a fluctuating cyclical bond? Because I think we always think of like bonding as this linear thing, like I'm bonded to this person and it's just going to be
right,
like this. But in reality, because if we talk about hobby heartbreak and things come and go, and like if you're doing projects with people and like here it comes, here it goes, all these the projects have to change with the zeitgeist of the time anyway. So it's like, is there a way to remain bonded but kind of cyclically flow in and out with a person? How do you remain bonded between moments of bonding?
Well,
that's that's about like the relationships I have. I have interest that she has no interest in at all. But we get along because just some other physical matters, and she knew I was going to marry her, and she told her sister, "I'm going to marry that guy." So anyway, but we do live almost separate lives in some ways.
Well, we
I
know
think they're.
what a catalyst to bonding is. It's the wild thing. Okay, Debbie. Well, JC was going to say something, but okay,
Oh, go ahead. No, Jay-Z, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, so it goes back to what Laurel was saying, and I also have definitely in the past parts of my life stayed in things way too long.
Yeah,
And I think also, like, Andy, you helped me with this a lot of like we're doing the like win-win situation analysis of things. And I think that it's less likely in the future, as I am also like clean and clear in all of my relationships, and I want to remain as such, to maybe do actually what you were talking about, Kim, and be like really honest in communicating, like, is this a win-win for you? And is it for me? And actually talking about that. And then
right.
I think there's another part of it in which, like, I in my past stayed in relationships too long because I didn't realize there was this concept of like, oh, you can renegotiate instead of just like being like, this isn't working, I'm bailing. Right? And so I think that helps too. And I think, Andy, like you and I in our relationship, we're constantly like renegotiating, and we're I think that's what's so awesome is like we're both growing, and we're like maybe learning different things or starting to go this way and that way, and then we reconnect and are like, wait, what do you want out of this? What do I want out of this? Oh, well, these three things work, this fourth one doesn't, like, and renegotiate, right?
Right.
Nice, Debbie.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I think Jay-Z's right on it. The thing is, you have to have air to just move around a little bit. You need, whether it be in your chart, just literally, you need to have a little air in between for your relationships to flourish. It
If
really,
they're both water signs, then say a stream, a little bit of a stream.
Yeah, you need to just be able to flow like that. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you
I
need
like
to
that
flow a
point,
little
Debbie.
bit.
You got to breathe. You got to let people breathe.
yeah. Don't stay.
And
Air
trust.
signs need to
And
breathe, and water signs need to flow.
yes,
What
and
where
you
earth
have to
signs
trust.
need timber.
You have to trust, and you have to, and also lack of expectations. Expectations are just a killer. They just really are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like it's just like annoying. Like Laurel, like I definitely don't feel that bonded as bonded to you, Laurel, any right now because we're just not bonding a lot because you got your new job, and so then it's changed like everything, right? But it's like I definitely am just like, oh man, I got to make a video with Laurel because I got to rebond with Laurel. Like it's like we need like a rebonding lingo of like, can we? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if I guess what people say is like I miss you or Or like, it's been a minute since we saw each other. Like, I'm just trying to think what like
Yeah.
non-autistic people say. Like, so anyway, how's it going? What's new in your world? Like,
Yeah.
How have you been?
I get
It's
get
your
comfortable with ebbs and flows. Like I feel security with you in the sense that I know that if we don't talk for a while, as long as we're still, I don't know. I don't feel insecure about the times that I don't have contact with some of my close friends. Unless like there's a rift, and even then I've had multiple rifts with people, but normally I get over it. And if I don't, I actually am pretty good at letting go. It's just when you're in that sort of like moment of present time that it feels like the most.
I would
I don't know. There's the heartbreak happen. Like I can't face the heartbreak. So I guess it should also just be okay to feel really sad.
Yeah, I would like to say that even though my wife and I have different interests, okay, we both do not like to be late. And then she's from West Virginia, and she introduced me a chili dog with sweet coleslaw on it. And that's the best thing you'd ever eat. She is a good cook.
oh, people bond over food. They say the food is the way to the stomach. Well, I want to talk about this thing called like onboarding or honeymoon phasing. Okay, so people are always like love bombing each other, and then like what that is like a hyper bond connect. Like Jen and I are kind of like super bonding right now, like because we just met or whatever, right? But the thing is, people critique that. They say, well, that's just the honeymoon phase, or like they love bombed you and then they went away. But in all the management books I've read, they say that that's called onboarding. And in the beginning of a friendship or anything, you have to hyper bond for a while to, I don't know, it's like you have to get used to each other and get to know each other. There's something where you bond initially and then you kind of relax in that bond and then you kind of just have it and then you can like hyper bond. What do you guys think about that? Is that the phase?
I mean, I have ADHD, so like I hyperfixate. Like I'm interested in you, so I want to learn everything there is to know, and and that's how we build this sense of being able to flow into it. I feel like that's normal for me.
It's kind of like a sextile becomes a trine. It's like excitation, and then it becomes more sustainable. Like a trine is more sustainable.
And this is kind of reminding me of like what Debbie was saying with like the lack of expectations and like how like too many expectations can be like detrimental to a bond. But it was making me think of like sibling-like bonds where in society we kind of are raised knowing we're going to separate as siblings, and then we will come back together for holidays maybe, or like different things will bring us back. So there's kind of this safety to not unbond, but to let go. And I have some close friends that I feel like are siblings like that, but it's just like that's one of the few relationships I feel like in society where we kind of are like, yeah, it's okay to not be always as close in this, and just like, and I think a lot of that has to do with just like the expectation. But yeah, like I just think that'd be really cool.
The management thing's really interesting because I notice it in a lot of the volunteer organizations I'm in. We'll get like a new person volunteering and they do like the littlest thing. And everyone's like, oh my God, look what you did. Wow, you're the best. And then sometimes it can make those people who've been there for a while and are really carrying the weight be like, why didn't they get a celebration? So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, we can talk for 10 more minutes about bonding, or we can move to music and astrology. Does anyone else have other things about bonding that they want to talk about? Okay, Debbie, would you want to introduce us to your topic, music and astrology? I love that this show, it just is all over the place. Okay.
What is music? Yeah, music and astrology. It came to my mind that depending on your own chart, how do you resonate? What is there a certain pattern in charts? And particularly, I would think the outer planets, because it really resonates with a particular generation. What kind of, who are your favorite kind of musicians or artists? And it was interesting because I did a little research before we got on here, because the couple of the people that I chose, and I chose everything from like the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, just for fun. And it was weird because there was a connection, like the moon, like the first one I chose was Bach. I love Bach, Johann Bach, and his moon is in Aquarius, the same as mine. And what's interesting also, there were just things that were about it that resonated with Bach. And then I looked at Mozart, and I looked at Elvis Presley, and I looked at who was the other person? But anyway, the bottom line was there was a connection with the moon. The moon was, they were hovering around the sun, whether it be a balsamic, whether it be new moon, and one was like a third quarter, but it was very close to a balsamic again. And I wonder, do we choose the people that we like to listen to? Is their chart resonate with your chart? Is there something about that? The way they choose, the music that you love from them, the vibration that they send out, do we absorb that through our own charts? And I did find connections, and I thought that was just fascinating.
Huh.
What do y'all think?
I definitely think so. I was looking at I really love Rachmaninoff, and I really love Mahler for classical. And I don't know why I was looking at it a couple of days ago. And Rachmaninoff in particular, like I can listen to his music and just start crying. And I'm like not a watery person. I don't cry easily usually. But his sun is right on my ascendant. So there's a way that and it's Aries, so it's not water, but it's still like he's solarizing like how I'm actualizing, how like my style, like he's bringing it to this new level. Like the fact that I'm able to like actually engage and show emotion. And depending what time he was born, he might have a Gemini moon and I have a Gemini moon. But if it's earlier in the morning, he's going to be Taurus. So that's out the window. But
that was the other thing. I had to make sure that they had a AA rating on their charts, because there were some that I love. Like my favorite is Cat Stevens, but he doesn't have a AA rating. So I really was going for just, the juggler. I really wanted to really get it precise on that. But I just thought that was really interesting. And I just started looking at that, but I wonder about that.
So Debbie, I grew up in high school playing Chopin on the piano. I've played a lot of piano, but Chopin was my favorite, classical composer. And when I looked at Chopin's chart, he's right on my moon square Neptune. He's got a bunch of planets. His chart looks almost like my chart. So it was, the synastry was just impeccable between me and Chopin. So that's one example I have of, yes.
Yeah, 12 degrees came up, and of course my moon is at 12 degrees. Oh no, my Venus. My Venus is at 12 degrees, and it's like I just thought so many connections. Does anybody else? Anybody else? Because I just think
Tim, what were you gonna say?
Well, have y'all heard of Nina Hagen?
No.
Nina Hagen is a East German girl, and she's the mother of what word am I looking for? Punk rock. She's the one that started it. And if you go to YouTube and Nina Hagen, well, we're born on the same day, and I don't know. Now a few things are different, her chart to mine, but we're just the same rebels. we're just the same.
Nice, Jay-Z. Aren't you an astro twin to Kurt Cobain?
I am. We were born 3 days
really?
apart.
Oh my God, you're giving me chills.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and that I've definitely since I was introduced to him 1980 whatever. I always loved his vibe, and I actually met him once in a show in a basement in a dorm.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Laurel, you put on 99 Red Balloons. I love that song.
Oh, that Nina Hagen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did not
since
know
I'm off
that.
the mic, I was just thinking kind of about that, and I think my musical taste really spans a lot of genres, and music is important to me. And I've never really, I mean, I'm sure I've looked up people's charts that I really resonate with, but I don't remember who they are. And usually when I do that, it's because I think I like there's some kind of attraction, whether, I just really like them or if they're literally physically attractive to me.
Hey, Laura, have you ever
But
heard of Bongle?
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a
Any
single
kind of
song, but
psychedelic electronic.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll listen to that.
Yeah. I Yeah, I think like if there's like a theme that it would be either sort of sad or like kind of tough. I don't know, but that comes out in like every single genre. But it just has to be really good in my mind, and I always think about that when somebody else really likes something and they think it's really good, and like I try to put myself in their shoes to figure out why it is they think this song is like really
Right.
moving to them or whatever it is, and but
Yeah,
it's interesting how we all
I
relate
like
that way.
movie that acts like you're getting ready to moon everybody.
I think it's interesting too, the outer planets and the zeitgeist of the time for every generation. What kind of music they listen to and what you know. And same with people's Neptune sign. I feel like each generation has different musical inclinations depending on the Neptune sign. And so that's any thoughts on that, you guys?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the poetry of of music.
Have you
Neptune.
had Neptune in Pisces?
Oh
Me?
yeah.
No, I have
Yeah.
it in Libra. Libra.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do
In the
too.
second house. Music. I love music. Music, and I love all different kinds of music.
Yeah.
With some of them, some of them too. That was really weird because what was it? I think it was Mozart. Now they're Mozart and Bach. They were born like almost 70 years apart, something like that. And they both had the same Jupiter, I think it was, which
Huh.
was, it was crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, I was just having fun with this. Jupiter at 18 degrees. It was at the exact 18 degrees. It was kind of crazy.
Wow, interesting.
Really?
It was at 18 degrees of Gemini.
No, Libra.
Oh, Libra, interesting.
Really?
All right,
What?
well, oh, go ahead.
No. What is that? Pardon me for my forgetful mind, but what does 18 degrees mean?
Oh, well, I did look that up, and the Egyptian terms. So the Jupiter at 18 degrees in Libra, okay, is Jupiter. It's just all Jupiter.
Huh?
Yeah, it's all Jupiter. So that can't be bad.
Oh, really?
Interesting. Well, you guys, it is 6:30 and we have got to wrap up. I want to thank everyone for coming. Okay, do you want me to invite you next week? If so, raise your hand. Okay, we're all coming back next week. And we have 3 more spots for someone else. So if you have a friend or you want someone to come, I got a list. This is a great group. I very much look forward to these discussions. I hope that you guys all do too. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.